Hello, hello, everybody. Good morning. We are back in action, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down. Good morning, Squid. Hey, Bill, good morning. AOD, yes. Had a great vacation. Very, very restful, very enjoyable. I'm ready to get back to it, though. Morning, Gong Show. Well, I hope everyone's good. And yeah, I haven't even really looked at the charts from the last week. But dang. It's like Friday was interesting. Thursday, Wednesday, kind of a range. Didn't miss much there. Friday may have been the only interesting day, really. Well, cool. Looks like I didn't miss terribly too much. I'm sure there was some good trades in there, though. Well, hope it was profitable for everyone. How have you guys been the last week? Did well? Nice, Bill. Glad to hear it. Lost two 50K accounts after passing. Bummer. Bummer. Sorry to hear that, Gong. Hey, morning, Neil. So yeah, looks like the range might be continuing here, guys. I know you said that it was range bound this last week. And yeah, looks like we're right back in there. This is the daily chart. All of last week was in a range, and here we are. Yep, pretty much there it is. We'll see if we can break out of this action. If not, we might be into some more of the same, especially with the holiday week. So I'm gonna leave those levels on, as those might be helpful. Check out the Nasdaq. So far, same structure too. We'll zoom out here in a minute to see where the range lies. A little bit more movement on the Nasdaq as far as this range goes. But yeah, more or less still in a range. Not interested in too much unless we break out of these levels. Yeah, it looks like Friday was an interesting day, though. Good morning, Gene, by the way. And yeah, Bill reminding us we do have some news at 10 a.m. ISM manufacturing PMI. There's a couple news items this week. Unemployment claims on Wednesday. Thursday is obviously the 4th of July, so not much going on there. But on Friday, there is the unemployment rate, average hourly earnings. So that might be enough to make it not completely dead on this holiday week. Marking out yesterday's high and low on both indices. Doubt we will get there. But you never know, so it's important to mark those levels out because they can really come into play. They can be targets for sure, and then big areas of either continuation or a strong reversal. Gene says, hope you don't need a vacation from the holidays. Yeah. No, it was actually quite restful, so I feel rejuvenated, ready to go. It was very nice to get away from the markets for a little bit. But yeah, I hear you. Sometimes vacations you come back and you're like, oh man, that was a lot of work. All right, so where we are currently at, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, obviously trading range. We have this move up, and this could be our second attempt higher. Maybe this is where we get a new high here. But on these trading range kind of structures, often get V-shaped reversals. Right in the middle range, not too interested in trading this. We also have just 5 minutes until the market opens. Oh, you know what? I just realized I have not reloaded my charts yet, so I am going to do that. Make sure I have the freshest data possible, especially after taking some time off. I cleared my cache this morning. Should be good to go with all that. Starting to get that push up here on that second leg. Normally I'd be looking for a higher low, but we're in the middle of the range. Market's about to open, so I'm not gonna do that. Hey Thomas, good morning. Yes, vacation was awesome, but it is also very good to be back. Alright, I reloaded my Nasdaq chart, and we are getting a little bit of a divergence here. S&P popping up, Nasdaq not so much. I will reload my S&P chart too right here. Market is open, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got. All right, my S&P chart not fully reloaded yet. But on the Nasdaq, you know, it looks like this uptrend has already played out. We had this move up, break new high, and now we're working our way downwards. And again, we're just kind of right in the middle of this range, so I'm not too interested in looking for a trade either way. No strong bias. All right, S&P chart reloaded, so it should be good, and we're coming to the top of the range. So going to be looking for hopefully a short if we get up here and get a reversal pattern. Or in Larry. I do like that we were working our way slowly up to the top of the range. Nasdaq's already dropping, so another little divergence going on here. I like an ES short if we can get to the top. Nasdaq's still dropping down and the ES has not joined it yet. I'm sure it will soon here. And very interesting price action between the Nasdaq and the S&P right now. S&P still holding strong on the EMA, and the Nasdaq very weak comparatively. Nasdaq getting a pullback. And I kind of like a short here if it sets up, actually. See if we can get a second entry on this Nasdaq trade here. Over on the S&P, finally starting to get some movement to the downside. And this Nasdaq trade looks really good. Unfortunately, I do not have my trade copier set up right now. But yeah, that might be one to consider taking right there, guys. Never triggered. And that is why you wait for prices to trigger below the specific bar you're looking at. So, you know, this would have been a nice second entry short, pullback, first entry, pullback. We had a pretty good bearish bar here, but it never went below it. So sellers never were able to continue this momentum. And fortunately, we weren't trapped. We didn't have to join them. So that's a good example why it's important to wait for prices to go below the bar you're looking at for a short or above the bar you're looking at for a long. There, we're getting that drop. See if we get a chance for a lower high. S&P still kind of just chopping around. Never quite got to the top of the range there. Nasdaq still dropping off. Made a new low of that downtrend. S&P bias not super clear. Both the trend up played out, move up, break new high, and this trend down played out, move, break new low. So all trends have currently played out. We're kind of just waiting for a clear bias to present itself. You know, this is range-like behavior in here. Already we're at a range for the day, and then we have kind of the secondary range here. So nothing super clear right now. Matt, good morning to you, my friend. If I were to trade gold or crude oil, what tick would I consider using? The way that I look at it, Matt, is highly visual. So I would just load up the chart and kind of visually match it to what this looks like on the S&P, about this number of bars. So no exact science. I don't have the charts pulled up right now. I do trade crude oil and gold from time to time, and I think I usually use like a 750 tick. There's no exact science at all, just whatever looks good. You don't want too many bars, right? You don't want it super granular, but you don't want each bar to take like 15 minutes either. So I would just watch the charts for a while, familiarize yourself with them, and whatever seems to be like some good movement, without printing bars every 10 seconds, you know, go with that. Nasdaq starting to break below the bottom of this range, and again, the Nasdaq has been very weak. compared to the S&P so far today. Now, we could get a false breakout here, so I would watch for that. S&P still has room to drop to the bottom of its range. Nasdaq might be leading the charge downwards. Could be getting a wider pattern here. I would watch for something like this. We've come pretty far down now for it to be a false breakout, so. S&P looks like it is starting to also develop a nice downtrend. That's pretty wide for a trading range, so I don't know. More likely it would start at this swing. See. It's kind of pending there. All right, S&P is at the bottom of its range. Nasdaq steadily declining. Solid push down for sure, AOD. I like it. I like this movement. ED, good morning to you. Thanks for the warm welcome. I am ready for whatever comes. Not expecting any miracles, that's for sure. All right, looking for a short on the Nasdaq. It would be better if the S&P was below its range, but we'll take what we can get. We can get back to the EMA with a second entry. I like this short. Come on, Nasdaq. Let's get back to that EMA. Certainly looks like it wants to go down a little bit more. And the S&P, hard to take a short after it just bounced off the overnight low. Johnny, good morning, good morning. Yes, thank you for the reminder. We do have news here in 8 minutes. 7 minutes now. And that does make it hard to trust any trade, unfortunately. I really do like this setup on the Nasdaq. Yeah, we'll probably hold off because of the news. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm really tempted on this Nasdaq short, even with the news. If this can get back to the EMA and get a nice bearish bar. Of course, cooler heads will prevail, but still tempted by it. Alright, so unless you're yellowing some evals, good time to be flat. News here in 4 minutes. Long green candle here. Not what you want to see when you're looking for a short, that's for sure. Man, some big green candles here coming off the bottom of the range on the S&P. We'll see how the news shakes things up, but we might have a nice uptrend going. We're at about 20 seconds here till the news drops. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Nasdaq is back at retesting the breakout area here. Should be pretty key, whether it rejects here or continues above. S&P kind of looks like an overshoot to the upside. Could have a strong reaction the other way. Especially watching Nasdaq here, as this has had a strong move down, and this is right where it had the breakout, so pretty key if it's going to turn down here or not. NQ struggling here. Right at the breakout level. It's just consolidating, hasn't really accepted or rejected one way or the other. S&P dropping a little bit off that overshoot of the uptrend. Now we got a little flip-flop. The Nasdaq is acting stronger than the S&P here. And Nasdaq perhaps rejecting here. I will take a failed second entry long if it sets up. We already have the first entry right there, the first attempt to go higher. If we pull down and get one more attempt to go higher, that'll be a solid failed second entry long. But it's not looking like that's going to set up for us. Hey Toad, good to see ya. I wouldn't say the ES is setting up here. We have this move up, had an overshoot that could lead to correction or reversal. So I wouldn't take the immediate second entry long that forms here. But if we get double confirmation with a higher low, we could consider that. This is a nice bar here, guys. If you're interested in that long, you know, this would be the bar to do it on. As long as it closes on its hide. But I'm not playing it with this overshoot. I'm gonna be more cautious than that. But if you are interested in the long, this is the time to do it. Big drop here. We'll see if we can get down below the bottom of the range. Very clear downtrend developing on the Nasdaq. That would be the primary trade I would want to take here, as it is a better looking chart than the S&P. But the S&P is now below that range low, so it is looking better. We are coming up on yesterday's low of day. This should be a pretty interesting level to watch here. I feel you, Toad. There might be a Toad overshoot going down. By the way, guys, while we're waiting for something to set up, there is, as promised, a giveaway going down on the Discord. So make sure you head over there. Giving away an entire free month of the mentorship tier. So the highest tier available on the Discord. Direct contact with me, mentorship. Try it out for a month. Also giving away a second place prize of 50% off any tier, third place prize of 25% off tiers. So make sure you enter. Only a few people have entered so far, so your odds are really high. And yeah, so 3 different prizes giving away. Head over to the Discord. There is a link. It's the pinned message on the chat. You can go to the giveaway section on the Discord and it will be there. I'm liking this downtrend starting to set up on the S&P. All right, so here we go, getting a pullback finally on the S&P. All right. Gave you the message interaction failed, and the second time you've already entered this giveaway. Huh. Okay, that is interesting. Is anyone else getting funky messages when you enter on the Discord? I might have to rerun it if that is the case. it went in after the second attempt. That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Alright, trading wise, we are getting no reaction at the EMA here. Looking like a V-shaped reversal. Hey, Daryl, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I did. All right, this V-shaped reversal is starting to come back down. But this is getting a little sketch, guys. When you start having these V-shaped reversals, the likelihood of a good trade definitely goes down. I really don't like the Nasdaq chart now. It's been a little too unpredictable. Big move up, big move down, big move up. That's best to avoid. The S&P still looks decent, especially if we get a failed second entry long here. All right, guys. I think I'm getting some more messages that it's the Discord giveaway is not working that well, so I am going to resubmit it. So if you already entered, give me a minute. I'll let you know when, and you might have to re-enter again. I think this one's gonna work better. Yeah, looks like it's still having problems. I don't know what the deal is, guys. But we're just gonna roll it. You might have to click the button twice. Alright, y'all. So the giveaway is live now. Double checked it, so make sure if you already entered earlier, go back, re-enter it. Apologies for that. Just wanted to make sure it's working properly. So you may have to click the button twice, but there you go. All right, well, the uptrend on the S&P has officially played out. We did this move up, break new high, so still seeing if we can get some movement down downwards, pardon me. Checking out the Nasdaq, it does appear to be continuing higher after all those V-shaped reversals. We may have something mildly trustworthy setting up. Alright, so with this spike in secondary channel on the Nasdaq, I can consider a long. I'm just looking for a little pullback to the EMA. Nice bullish bar. And I could also consider that on the S&P. This could be a secondary channel setting up here too. See how the EMA reacts here. I like it better on the Nasdaq if it sets up. S&P is challenging the EMA right now. Nasdaq has not yet tested it. Come on, baby. Come on back to the EMA, Nasdaq. Actually looks pretty good for a long. Just need one more pullback and a nice test. All right, here we're back at the EMA. Don't like that big bear bar going right through it. Plus, the S&P is well below it, so I'm going to need to see a little bit more confirmation here on the Nasdaq, especially with how volatile and sketchy it's been. So let's see if we can get a higher low. This may not even trigger, but if it does, I'd want to see a higher low confirming that the buyers are still engaged. All right, there's the second entry triggered on the Nasdaq. Doesn't look like we're going to get that higher low. It's just going to go straight to a new high. S&P is above the EMA. We might get a higher low confirmation here too. But yeah, overall price action is bearish for the day. Even though we are in a range, we have been steadily working down. We're below the VWAP on SPY. I believe on the Qs as well. Checking that right now. We're above, but testing from the high side. If the Qs can push down below the VWAP and start to get some weakness, I feel like ES will likely go test the low of the day again. Bummer, Ed. Sorry to hear that. It does look like several people have entered, so I don't know what's going on there. You might already be entered too. That's the report I'm getting. Is it says this interaction failed, but still you're actually entered. Morning, Chayek. All right, S&P is working its way down here. As I said, you know, the overall price action is pretty bearish, so if we get a short setup here, it's going to be a good one to take. Nasdaq too. I believe the Qs are below the VWAP at this point. Yep, for sure. So looking for a short on the Nasdaq as well. Okay, let's check and see if we get a short right here. Shayak asking, does Apex allow multiple entries like DCA? You can't add to a losing trade more than once. So if you enter at a certain price and it goes below that enter price, you can only add one time. Can't add multiple times. All right, this could be a potential second entry here on the NQ. And I will risk it if this sets up. Just need to see a nice bearish finish on this bar. Nope, doesn't look like it's going to finish bearish. We are not going to enter that one. S&P might still set up. We just need to see a tick higher here on this bar and then it to turn down. still like the Nasdaq if we put in a nice bearish bar here. Still looks pretty good to me. We'll see how this bar finishes. Nope, no dice. One more chance here. S&P looks really good. It just never gave us a bar. But if we get a lower high there, I still like it. Unfortunately, this would be a inside bar. Let's see if this reverses. No dice. See how the S&P looks. Look at that reversal bar. That is pretty dang nice. Huge bar though. Too much risk. Yeah, I would have to target a new low there and not getting any better than 1-to-1 risk, so not stoked on that play. But the context is really good, and if you are okay with 1-to-1 risk, there it is for you. Nice bar. Hey Frank, yes, in the eval stage you can YOLO 2 evals in different directions, one long, one short. Absolutely. However, you are sacrificing one of the accounts, right? I would suggest checking out the video on my page, how to YOLO, which you can pass all your accounts at the same time rather than having to sacrifice one. Maybe you've already seen that and it's not for you or whatever, but if you haven't checked that out, definitely do so. Seeing if we can get a lower high on the Nasdaq. Still interested in a short here. This would be perfect. If this turns into a lower high, I'm all about it. Yep, we're still hanging around Friday's low. S&P looks better if we can get a nice lower high. Come on, S&P. One more little pullback and a lower high and we can get in this thing. And if you did take that Nasdaq trade, it looks like it might be working. The entry would have been right here below that bearish bar. Target on the low, stop up here. Looks like it's going to hit. Toad, so sorry, so sorry. Happy Canada Day to all my good friendly neighbors up north. May the maple syrup be plentiful this year. I wish Jesse was here to give us some Canadian news. Nasdaq trade hit. Wondering if anyone took that. That one worked out well. S&P never got that lower high we were looking for, but it does look like it wants to challenge the low. All right, well, this was definitely the area I was looking for a trade. You know, again, nice move down earlier. Buyers never really got anything going. We moved below the EMA again. This pullback to the EMA is the perfect area to get short. Just didn't quite get set up the way that we wanted. And now we're at a new low. So we need to pause looking for shorts for the time being. So with that, I'm going to head over to the Discord. Again, if you have not entered the giveaway there, please do. You may have to click it a couple times, maybe refresh your browser. I don't know what needs to be done, but yeah, make sure you try to get in on that. Add me as a friend on Discord too. I will not be able to message you if you're not my friend. There's so many scams out there. I don't want to have any confusion. So add me as a friend on Discord. Enter the giveaway. That's going to be drawn here in a couple of days. And man, great to be back with you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I will see y'all soon. Take care.